The feature of this segment, the main dish is called stir-fried rice noodle. It's a great dish for a potluck gathering, a dinner table dish, also a one-person portion. The rest can be freeze and defrost and heat up. What tastes is good, if not better. The main ingredient here, the rice noodle, I'm going to show you a technique how to break it up when you stir fry with other ingredients. And also, it will come out beautifully with the color. It also have eggs, green onions, carrots. I have shallots and soy sauce, and also shiitake mushrooms, and pre-marinated ground beef, chicken stock, and also a salt, white pepper, white wine, and oil. Don't forget the cabbage. That's a quarter of those we're going to use for this recipe. Let's get right into it. As I mentioned before, that the technique I'm going to show you how to cook the rice noodle, so when you stir fry, it will be a lot easier to pre-boil a lot of water, and then also pour in the soy sauce. Give a good stir. That way we can mix the water and the soy sauce really well. And once the color turning a little light brown, I'm going to go ahead and make sure it's ready to pour in my rice noodle. So once you see the water start boiling, and we're going to go ahead and put the rice noodles in the broth. And once we are wait to boil the rice noodles, we just have to make sure you stir occasionally, and make sure all of the rice noodles are in the broth. As you can see, all the rice noodles already loosened up, and now we're gonna go ahead and pour drain the rice noodles in the drainer, and go ahead and transfer that into a bowl. And the reason we do that is because we already give the rice noodle a bath, so it will eliminate all the starch that eventually will release in the stir fry. Now the rice noodles in the bowl, we're gonna go ahead and grab a plastic wrap, and to seal it as tight as we can. The effect of this step is to make sure that the rice noodle continue to be cooked in the bowl, and it's almost called a steaming process. So this is very crucial. Now the rice noodle has been steamed and cooked. As you can see, the texture of the noodle is soft, but it's not soggy. It's just because of the humidity that created in the steaming process helped. We're gonna also gonna use scissors to give a couple cuts to the noodles, so it will be easy to serve and to taste. Now the wok is being reheated, and I'm gonna use 2 tablespoons of coconut oil to start with the saute. And as I mentioned, I prefer the heat to be pretty high, so when I saute the shallots and also green onions, the flavor and aroma will be released immediately. So I'm going to go ahead and just start with the shallots that I have already cut into strips. Do you hear that sizzling? That's exactly the heat temperature should be at. And I'm going to also right now pour into the green onions that I actually only sectioned to a large strips, because I want the color of the green onions eventually show off on the rice noodles when it's done. If it's too small of a pieces, it might disappear in the whole dish presentation. As I'm giving a very quick stir here, that I can just smell the aroma coming up from these 2 ingredients. They are great for high frying. Now the shiitake mushroom that I cut to strips previously also being added, and that is going to bind these 3 ingredients really well together to set the stage for my rest of the ingredients to be poured in. So I'm going to go ahead and give a good toss here, and then I'm going to go ahead and add the julienne carrots. If you don't really want it to Julian, the carrots yourself, can go and buy a store pre-cut ones. That's fine if your schedule doesn't allow that. And also give another good stir. Actually, the color of the carrots will already start showing its vibrancy of the dish. And a great stir-fried rice noodle need to have a lot of different colors to combine. The noodle itself is really okay and have no color to it. So all these ingredients will help to bring the dish to life. Now I'm adding the marinated beef that into the dish, and I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that most of the beefs are pretty much cooked before I put other ingredients in, because it will take a little while to do so. So I'm breaking up the beef right now and give a good toss, and to let the heat does its work, and continue tossing for a couple more seconds here. Just want to make sure the protein is cooked roughly. Now I'm going to adding the stripped cabbage that I also previously cut. That also can be purchased at the store with ready-made to go, so you don't have to cut it yourself, but you save a lot of your time. So now I'm just going to toss all these ingredients together before preparing for the rice noodle to be added to it. So that's why stir fry is so easy and also beautiful to do. Now I'm gonna add the chicken stock, so I can add some moisture to the ingredients was previously cooked, because at this point the meat is already absorbing a lot of water content. I just add the wine. Also, I just add a little bit of water. So now I'm gonna go ahead and toss the salt and pepper and give another toss. I need to constantly stir that pot just to make sure that all the ingredients, they are constantly evenly combined together. Now I'm putting the final ingredients, which is the rice noodle I was previously steamed, and give a very good toss. At this point, even though they are loosened, but we still want all the ingredients to marry one another and to make sure it's combined to a great mixture, so we can see colors from every strand of noodle if possible. Right there, we're also gonna further make sure the ground beef is totally cooked. So it's got a lot of stir frying to do, but then the end result is amazing. Now I just put the lid on for about a couple minutes to make sure that all the liquids, all the seasoning have been incorporated. So it's been about 2.5 minutes now. I'm gonna go ahead and check, make sure the colors all together, all the noodles been loosened and ready to serve. I'm ready to serve and turn the fire off and serve on a large platter. I want to make sure the noodles are fluffy, so I don't like to use my spatula or any kind of saute equipment to flatten noodle. I want them to look fluffy and appetizing. So that's also another trick when you're transferring the noodles to the dish. I add a twist to this fried rice noodles for a reason, because aesthetically will be really, really pretty to add different color on top and also incorporate different form of protein to this dish. So we'll make this fried noodles really, really appetizing and not so boring. So right now I'm using 5 eggs. I'm gonna beat them up really well. And I'm gonna go ahead and, because the beating process actually air to it and also the water, both these techniques will help the eggs eventually be very, very fluffy when you serve it. I heat a skillet with oil and at a medium high. That's very important and crucial for this technique. I pour in my egg mixture, and I'm just going to start using my hand to make sure my hand's motion is all keep swirling the skillet as often as possible, also in a continuous motion, because when you do that, a thinner layer of the egg mixture can be formed and still will maintain its soft texture. As you can see, the thinness of the egg probably will be thinner than a lot of omelet recipes. As you can see, I'm almost towards the end of the cooking process here, and once it's get to a point of ready to be folded, I'm going to go ahead and use my spatula to fold the egg mixture. It's still very soft and still very tender, so I want to be very gentle with it. And I'm gonna fold it to a burrito shape. Eventually, to cut it to strip is much easier, and also looks a lot more aesthetic, beautiful. Now I'm gonna go ahead and transfer this egg mixture next to the one that I made previously, and I'm gonna use a pretty big knife to chop it in the thin strips, and as thin as possible, and transfer the strips onto the fried rice noodles. Look how beautiful we just created this fried rice noodles together. For this beautiful recipe, please go onto my website, Chusion.com. And be well, be blessed, until we share another dish together. Unleash the chef in you.